Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Grade 6 Science Unit number 2, that is life processes. Life processes. Life starts with cells. What are cells? Cells are the building blocks of life. They are the tiny units which make up the human body. There are many organisms in the universe such as unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. यूनिसेलुलर ऑर्गेनिजम्स कौन से ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं? ये वो ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं जो कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक सेल से मिलकर बने हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल अमीबा। और मल्टीसेलुलर वो ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं जो दो या दो से ज्यादा सेल से मिलकर बने हुए हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल एनिमल्स हैं, प्लांट्स हैं। These all are multicellular organisms. Animal cell and plant cell has a nucleus which is also known as the control center of the cell. ये सेल को कंट्रोल करता है, ये सेल को मैसेजेस देता है कौन सी एक्टिविटी किस टाइम पे परफॉर्म करनी है। इसके अलावा सेल में हमारे पास सेल वैक्यूल्स होते हैं। एनिमल सेल में फूड वैक्यूल्स ज्यादा होते हैं। प्लांट सेल में एक ही वैक्यूल होता है जो कि फूड, वाटर और वेस्ट स्टोरेज के लिए होता है। Then plants and animal cell has cytoplasm, which is a jelly-like substance in which all the organelles are suspended in the cell. जी हाँ, साइटोप्लाज्म होता है जो कि एक जेली लाइक सब्सटेंस है जिसमें सारे के सारे ऑर्गेनेल्स प्लांट्स और एनिमल सेल दोनों में सस्पेंडेड होते हैं। प्लांट की बात करते हैं। प्लांट लाइफ बिगिंस विद अ सीड। सीड के साथ शुरू होती है। सीड ग्रोज इनटू अ प्लांट एंड देन इट ब्रिंग्स फ्लावर्स एंड अदर थिंग्स। Plants have different part. It has flowers, which is the reproductive part of the plant. Flower एक reproductive part of the plant है। इसमें मेल पार्ट भी होता है जिसको स्टेमन कहते हैं और फीमेल पार्ट भी होता है जिसको कार्पेल कहते हैं। They help the plant in pollination. Pollination क्या है? The transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower, that is called pollination. एक फ्लावर का pollen grain दूसरे फ्लावर के pollen grain पर जब गिरता है तो इसको pollination कहते हैं। अब pollen grains जो कहते हैं, pollen grains क्या हैं? Pollen grains are the yellow dust. Some of the pollen grains have spikes on it. जब pollen grains transfer होते हैं दूसरे फ्लावर की तरफ तो उसके pollen grains स्टिग्मा के ऊपर गिर सकें। Other type of the pollen grains have wings. The wings help them to fly towards the other flowers so that it can pollinate. Animal cell. Human being is also made up of cells. There are some special cells which perform special jobs. For example, epithelial cells जो कि special jobs perform करते हैं। Epithelial cells कहाँ पर होते हैं? ये outer covering पर पाए जा सकते हैं। Blood vessels में होते हैं, alimentary canal में होते हैं। Epithelial cells help in protection, in absorption, in secretion, and in sensation as well. Then we have blood cells, which are also special for us. In blood cells, we have red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells are disc-like structure. They carry the oxygen to all parts of the body. Then we have white blood cells, जो कि हमारे immune system को boost करता है, which is also known as the defense system of our body. Then we have the platelets. Platelets क्या काम करते हैं? ये blood clotting में काम आते हैं। जब हमें injuries हो जाती हैं तो ये blood clotting में help करते हैं। Cells, as you know, cells are the building blocks of life. The human body is made up of cells. Cells combine together to form a tissue. Tissue क्या है? Different tissues are present inside our body. जब एक ही तरह के cells मिलकर एक ग्रुप बनाते हैं तो उस ग्रुप को tissues कहा जाता है। हमारी बॉडी में muscle tissue present है, nerve tissue present है, blood tissue present है। Different tissues combine together to form organs. And in our body we have very important organs. For example, our brain, which tells us, which commands us to do different things. Our heart, which pumps the blood. Our lungs, which help us to breathe, and our stomach, which helps us in digestion. Stomach example ले लेते हैं। Stomach is made up of different tissues. इसमें blood tissues भी हैं, इसमें nerve tissues भी हैं, इसमें muscle tissues भी हैं। These tissues combine together to form organ system. For example, digestive system. अब digestive system में different organs हैं। Digestion सिर्फ stomach में नहीं होती। Digestion आपके mouth से start होकर esophagus से, फिर आपके stomach में, फिर आपके intestine में। ये सारा process आपका digestive system में आता है। A human body has 5 senses: sense of sight, and for the sense of sight we use our eyes. For the sense of smell we use our nose. For the sense of hearing we use our ears. For the sense of touch there is skin for us, and for the sense of taste we have our tongue. We have 5 senses, and for these senses we have got organs as well. Moving on towards the organs, the first organ is eyes. Eyes help us to see the beautiful sights in the world. Eyes are a beautiful creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Eyes start with cornea. It is a lens which is the outer covering of the eye. It helps us to see different things. Then we have iris, which changes the shape of the lens according to the light that is entering into our eye. Then we have pupil, which is a black part of the eye which allows the light to enter into our eyes. Then we have lens in our eyes, which is a convex lens. It helps us to see image. The lens helps us to focus and defocus things. अगर हम पेंसिल की एग्जांपल लेते हैं, पेंसिल को अपने सामने रखते हैं तो हमारी आईज फोकस करती हैं पेंसिल की तरफ और बाकी सारी चीज़ें, बाकी सराउंडिंग को ब्लर कर देती हैं। ये काम हमारे लेंस का है जो कि फोकसिंग और डीफोकसिंग करता है। Then we have retina, which acts as an image sensor of our eyes. It sends messages to the brain through the optic nerve. The retina sees the world upside down, and it is the brain who corrects the image, who flips the image, and you can see the world, you can see the beautiful sights of the world. Then we have ears. We've got 2 ears. We've got 3 types of ear: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. In the outer ear, we have a flap, which is also known as pinna. When we hear a sound, the sound waves come towards our ears and it goes towards the ear canal, which is the part of the outer ear. Then these sound waves moves towards the middle ear and hits the eardrum. The eardrum vibrates when these sound waves comes towards it. The eardrum is connected with the inner ear, and in the inner ear we have 3 bones. These 3 bones are collectively called as ossicles. We have hammer, we have anvil, we have stirrup, which is also called stapes. These little bones vibrate और ये अपनी vibration pass on करती हैं cochlea की तरफ. Cochlea is a part of inner ear जिसमें fluid present है. इसके अंदर tiny hairs भी present हैं जो कि vibrate करते हैं, move करते हैं जब ये fluid move करता है. इन hairs के ऊपर nerve cells present हैं. ये nerve cells messages भेजते हैं brain की तरफ और ब्रेन हमें कमांड देता है, ब्रेन हमें बताता है कि कौन सी आवाज़ है और किस तरह सुनाई दे रही है. Most of the organisms use ears for hearing, but some of the organisms do not use ears. For example, the snakes, they use their jaw bones to hear. The fish, they use the water pressure. And the mosquitoes, they use their antenna to detect the sound. A human eye can distinguish up to 10 million different colors, and a human eye can blink for 17 times per minute. Then we have a very beautiful organ that surrounds all parts of our body, that is skin, the sense of touch, through which we can feel, we can touch, we can have the sensations. The skin protects us from different chemicals and different germs to enter into our body. It protects us from UV rays that are coming from the sunlight. It also helps us to absorb the sunlight because sunlight gives us vitamin D, which is very beneficial for our bones. Sense of touch also helps us to know about the hot and cold objects. For example, अगर हम गर्म पानी पकड़ेंगे तो हमें गर्म sensations feel होंगी और अगर हम ठंडा पानी पकड़ेंगे तो हमें ठंडी sensations feel होंगी. Basically, skin has 2 layers, the outer layer and the inner layer. The outer layer of the skin has a pigment called melanin. Yes, melanin helps to set the tone of the skin. The higher the melanin pigments in your body, you will be resistant to the UV rays because the higher the pigments in your body, you will have a darker skin, and the lesser the pigments in your body, you will have a fairer skin. This is the reason why people who have fair skin, they get sunburned. Melanin is present in the outer layer of the skin, which helps us to protect from different UV rays and chemicals and also sunburn. The inner layer of the skin has nerve cells which send messages to the brain, and brain tells us about the sensation of different objects. And surprisingly, skin is the largest organ of our body. It comprises of almost 16% of our body weight. Then we have tongue. Tongue is the organ that is used for the sense of taste. Tongue helps us to taste different foods. There are different types of tastes: sweet, sour, saltish, and bitter. The tongue has a rigid surface which has papillae. These papillae have nerve cells which help us to know about different tastes of food. Then we have nose, which is the organ of sense of smell. Yes, nose is used to smell different things. Nose is not just used for smelling, nose is also used to warm air. It is also used to filter the air. It is also used to moisten the air. The hair in the nostrils clean the air, they filter the air, and we breathe properly, and this is the reason why we stay fit and healthy. Surprisingly, sense of smell and sense of taste, they are interdependent, they are interconnected. If we have cold, we cannot feel the taste and we cannot smell different things. The reason behind that is the mucus is trapped into our nose and it blocks the nasal passage, it blocks the nerve cells. The nerve cells cannot send message to the brain, and the brain cannot detect the taste or even the smell. And with the help of these nerve cells, we can smell foods, we can smell fruits, we can smell flowers, and we can smell bad odors as well. Jazakallah khair, thank you very much.